Hi, and welcome to day 4 of our manifesting project. So, I got stuck, because I allow spirit. I'm all about just co creating with the divine. Everything that I do is very like inspired, right? And I got stuck. I like to be very honest. I like to share with you everything. And I feel like that's why it works for me because of my honesty, because of my integrity, because of my transparency. And I haven't gotten sick in like over a year. And I didn't want to go to work yesterday and nobody picked up my shift. So I had to go. I had no choice. I had to go. I mean, I could have called out. I had a choice. I could have called out. But I said, no, I'm going to go. It's extra cash. You know how it is, right? I noticed halfway through my shift that one of the girls was sick. And I never understood why people go to work sick. I mean, I get it, you need the money, but you're not thinking about the other person. I don't know how sick she was. I don't know how long because nowadays colds last forever, right? Well, long story short, I decided I'm not going to order any food because she's handling the food. So imagine that. Imagine the lack of, I don't know, you're handling other people's food and you're sick. So I decided, hey, I'm not gonna order food. I didn't say anything because I'm like, if the managers see her that she's sick and they're aware and she's here handling food, I try to stay away from her as much as possible. But I'm not right now. My immune system's really low. I have an issue with having anemia and I have health issues. I'm not a spring chicken. And of course I woke up and I didn't feel good. And I was like, oh, I tried so hard to stay away and here I am. So long story short, I got up, I took my shower. It was way past noon. And I said, if I don't get up, I'm not gonna get up. I feel like ass. So my husband gets home from the gym and he says, oh, you want to go to Starbucks? I said, yes, absolutely. I had showered, I got dressed, went to Starbucks. And when I get to Starbucks, something happened. And I was telling my husband, I have to do my video and I can't. I can't do my video. I don't know, I don't feel good. It's just not coming through. He's like, relax, you got this. So I get to Starbucks and they're really nice. I tell you this all the time. You can see it on my TikTok videos. They have made me cry in that Starbucks of how amazing they are. Inspirational tears. And I get there and I order my coffee. As soon as they see me, they know I'm on my coffee. And I'm sitting down. My husband's like, let's do some computer work. So I sit down with him and I open my computer and I'm also, things are happening that I can't share with you that once you read the book, because the book is happening, the book is being written alongside, that's Netflix in the background. The book is being written because in the book, it's all about what I'm doing, what I'm manifesting, what I'm creating. What I'm not sharing with you here is in the book. So I sit down, I'm drinking my coffee, I'm talking to my husband, he's showing me the stocks and whatever. He's really into that right now, which I'm so proud of him. And I see the barista, one of the baristas. She's very quiet, she's very shy. She's one of the newer ones, a very sweet girl. And she's got her matcha and she's there on social media. I don't know if she's talking to somebody, but whatever, she's in her zone, right? All of a sudden her alarm goes off and it triggers me. I hate alarms. Alarms give me PTSD. I know that sounds like exaggerative, but when I tell you that I hear an alarm and then the hairs on my back of my neck, I'm telling you, I hate alarms. And I look at her and she gets up, she's still drinking her matcha, it's not done. And she's going back to work. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm just like her. I got my 9 to 5. But that's when I saw what today was about. Your worth. And I'm thinking Starbucks pays pretty good. So I'm thinking she probably gets paid $17 to $18 an hour. So she'll make, after taxes, she'll take home over $100 and an 8-hour shift, about maybe more or less, right? She works 5 days, that's about $500. Not terrible. Starbucks, as a lot of young kids, as a young kid, you make $500 a week, you're okay. Especially that most of you are living with mom. It's okay. Starbucks takes care of their employees, They have a lot of incentives, health, but this is not about Starbucks. This is about your worth, my worth, our worth. And I'm going to let you in on a little story. I didn't really see, when I left my spiritual business way back in 2024, before 2024, I was in a dire situation. I was very stressed. My husband's mother had came to live with us. If you go back to the videos, you'll see me talking a lot about that. And she took a piece of me. She had Alzheimer's and dementia, very abusive. It was very, very hard to take care of her. Not to mention that I never liked the woman. She was very mean to me. We fought a lot. It was very a strange relationship between her and her son. So, of course, I'm just the outsider. I'm just the in-law, right? So there was no real connection. We had our moments, our Thanksgiving here or there. I'm not gonna tell you she was the worst person in the world, because they're far worse. But we just didn't get along. And back in 2009, I think it was 2008, 2009, we lost everything because of her. I'm talking about cars, house, business, everything. We were homeless because of her. Again, it was our fault because we allowed the situation. But whatever, fast forward, very estranged. My husband and his mom didn't have the best relationship. There was really no connection. And having her in my home brought a lot of that up. So it was, and I get it. These are trials. And this is why I'm sharing this with you, because in life, mind you, I'm in my 50s. I'm still going through trials, people, and so are you. And you will be going through them. She went through them at 89 fucking years old. You're going to be going through trials your entire life. So I had already, while I was doing my spiritual business, I had already started crafting my daughter, because my daughter loved that I would sell like crazy on Etsy. She loved that. To make her so happy. And she wanted something, so I was like, we started crafting together. It was like a me and her thing. And we opened up Etsy shops, and she started, I gave it all to her. So it was kind of like her business. And of course I had my TikTok that I used to sell my stuff on. So I was doing great, right? Not as great as spiritual business, because for me, my spiritual business was very lavish, but crafting is very therapeutic. It's like therapy, mental, just like journaling. It's just that mental purging, allowing your creativity to flow, getting all of those emotions out, just really, really hands-on relaxation. So I didn't see all that, how dire it was living with her, what I went through, until fast forward the last couple months. She's no longer with us. She passed away on March 28th of this past year. And again, a lot of healing. My husband has his moments, because there's a lot of what could have been, how it should have been, what life is. And your time is the most precious thing that you have in this lifetime. It's not money. It's time, because it's so fragile. You could be here one moment and not the next. So I've seen, because of seeing death, I saw death at a very young age. My great aunt died of breast cancer, and it was very hard. I was 4 or 5 years old. Maybe this is the reason why I had my gifts. So I have been visited by death many, many times. So I've been aware of this. But my husband wasn't really aware. I mean, yeah, he lost his brother, when we were in our early 20s. But this really impacted him. Like, it really, really impacted him. And one of the things that I tell you that my mother-in-law took for granted was time. She preferred to spend time with her so-called friends and neighbors and whatever than with her family. And even through her craziness, dementia, dismantled brain, she would come, she would have moments that she would come through and she would tell my husband, I'm so grateful that I'm here with you. I'm so grateful that I'm spending this time with you. And that, and he thinks about that and it hurts him because there could have been, we had talked to her again once she started getting older. I mean, she passed away in 89. So let's go backward around 5 or 6 years. We went to go visit her because we didn't see her a lot. Because again, she lived 300 miles away from us. We went to go visit her and he told her, hey, we're about to move again. You know, why don't you move in with us? Let's find a place or move closer, like whatever. She didn't want to. No, this is my place. I'm happy here, whatever. Very, very stubborn woman. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is, what is your time worth? Every time that you are thinking negative thoughts or allowing other people to take your time in a negative way, or working at a job that doesn't pay you enough, doesn't take care of you, makes you feel like shit, they are literally stealing from you. They're taking your power, your energy, your joy, everything. So this is about you realizing how important you are and how much you're worth. And of course, we're going to talk about numbers because, when I first saw it, I saw, again, the barista sitting down, thinking about how she got paid. Did she like this job? Was it worth her time? Was she friends with her coworker? Like, I thought about all of those things, right? Because the good thing is about my 9 to 5, even though now as I was working in between two jobs, I only did 3 or 4 days a week, but still it was between two jobs. I made more money in the other, and then in the other one, I made more money in one than the other. But the one that I made less money in, we became close. Like, they still call me all the time, and I go like once a month to work there. So funny. And they're like, when are you gonna work? I miss you. Like, like, it's really nice because you'll go to these places, you'll find jobs, and you'll find your tribe. And it's really, really nice, especially with me because I'm such a hermit. It's very hard for me to like make friends, and because I like my introvertness. So in today's magic, which I put it on day 3, but I will link it below. I simply put here, I want you to really think of a number. How much are you worth? And what is your worth? So you see, it's the same question, but they're different. So how much are you worth? And what is your worth? So your worth is, it doesn't have to be a number. Are you worthy of a true love relationship? This is like really going to break you down, because this was hard for me to face. And like I said, it brought up a lot of demons. A lot of demons, my friends. So much that I had to go into the... So when I share this with you, I want you to really realize what is your worth. And as I'm doing this, and again, you could hear me, right? You could hear me. I'm like sniffling. As I'm doing this, I feel like ass, And I was like, no, I said, and I stopped. Like, again, I stopped lower vibrational energies. And I, oh my God, let me tell you guys, I sometimes feel like, because when I write with spirit, I know it's spirit, like engaging with my creativity and co-creating and writing these great books. You will realize how simple manifesting is in these 30 days. Because what I am showing you through these exercises is so empowering, so freeing, that you will have no other choice. There will be no other option, no other outcome than what you intend and desire. And like I said, I'm doing the 30-day thing because I've already been manifesting for a long time, and I was like, why can't I have this in 30 days? And you're gonna laugh. And again, it's on my book. I got my confirmation on day 2, or 2.5, because it was day 2 going to day 3. It was in the middle of the night. And I talk about those confirmations and what they mean. And it's so powerful because even me, I didn't realize that until Spirit showed it to me, like broke it down to such an elementary level that I was able to say, holy smokes, my tribe will understand this. My tribe can do this. So very important, because there's many times like you and me and all of us, my friends, that we feel worthless. We feel undeserving. Like we don't matter. And you have people around you that are going to trample you, and they're going to make fun of you, and they're going to belittle you. So you need to see your worth and know that you are important and that you matter. I had to take a pause. I become a sentimental old lady. Now, as we go into the next section, what would you do? What would you do to be able to manifest this amount of money? Of course, like I said, here you're going to talk about your number, and you're going to talk about your worth. So again, your worth is, it could be anything. It could be a career, it could be a beloved, it could be perfect health, but always a number, because unfortunately here, numbers matter, because without numbers, we can't pay our bills. Where numbers equal security, because we don't live in a utopian society. What would you do to be able to manifest this amount of money? And that's where you go into what you desire to do. Like I said, my desire, and it has always been my desire since I was a child, was to write and to live off of my writing. And my favorite books are always about where the protagonist is a writer. My movies, when the movie protagonist is a writer. Love, love, love. Why do I love Bridgerton? Because I love Whistledown. You know? Why do I love Stephen King? Because he's a fucking writer. And then, what did you do today and how much did you make? Today, I wrote like crazy. I didn't make a penny. So, what? Maybe today was your day off. But you are going to write, what did you do today? What did you do towards your wevision, your dream, your intention? And even if you write, because I wrote it. Today I wrote in my project book, the one that we're co-creating. I wrote in my new storybook. And guess what? I made $0 today. And it's okay. This is not so you could feel bad, because, sometimes, and again, I it was so powerful what I saw. The epiphany, oh my God, it was so powerful. And I will share all this with you all, because it's really going to knock your socks off of how simple this is and how we just mindfully make it so hard. If you could have any amount of money you desire, what would that amount be? I have a feeling this is probably the first. I think this is probably the first part. It is in order when you print it. So yeah, since I did mine's back and forth, front and back, sorry, I'm on a roll. If you could have any amount of money you desire, what would that amount be? And this doesn't mean, this is not about the 30 days. This is not about manifesting $1 million in 30 days. If $1 million is your number, or 2 million, or 10 million, or $1 billion. This is about the long term. This is about the big vision. This is about what you're allowing yourself to envision for your life. I don't care if you're in your teens or like me, you're silver aged. This is about you and your worth and the number you envision. Now, this is where it gets real. This is where it gets real. This is probably why, what would you do to feel? But yeah, definitely this is first. Do you feel you deserve this amount? This was hard for me, my friends. Because a lot of the time, like I said, I had a lot of people in my life that would tell me that I was worthless, that I was never going to have that. Even my dad, which I love, and he's so optimistic, and I tell you that all the time. Even my dad, when I would say things like, "Oh, I gotta work on my credit" or something, he would make fun of me. He's like, you have terrible credit. You always have bad terrible credit. You're not good at paying your bills. You're not good at paying your stuff. And he never saw the picture of, because I always been a supporter. So what comes first? You gotta support your family. What comes next? The Burlington Victoria's Secret credit card. And there goes your credit score. So, it was like a little joke, but it still hurts you because you're like, fuck, I can't get through this. It took me a while to figure out. And then nobody teaches you. School is shit, people. I mean, and that's my opinion, but school is shit because school does not teach you life. School does not teach you finances and credit, and all of this should be in school. Instead, they want you to learn about bullshit that probably didn't even happen. Half of the shit that they teach you in school about history is baloney. And that really hurts me because I think about my kids and my grandkids and my, future children. They're going to these schools that is like worthless because you don't retain it. Do you remember anything past a certain grade? Because I know I don't. I think I learned everything up to 6th grade or 5th grade. After that is blank. Maybe a little book here and there, maybe a little, but that's it. I've never used algebra in my life. Measurements a little bit because I do some baking and cooking. But other than that, that's it. Think about it. I want you to think about that. So do you feel that you deserve this amount? Why or why not? This is when it's going to get real. This is where you're going to need extra room, which leads me to what I'm going to be working on. There's going to be a lot of behind the scene videos. I'm going to create a playlist for this. I'm going to show you how I use my books. I love that this one has 100 pages. I'm going to decorate it so you get to see all that. And this is where it gets real. This is where I'm going to teach you how to write and journal and purge and just get into that kind of flow of engaging with your inner self. Because you're going to have moments like I had a block today, people. And I sat down and I worked through it, after the fact. But again, I have a support team because even though my husband does drive me crazy, he has moments. He's like, no, babe, you got this. Don't feel bad. And I said, hey, tomorrow I'm going to go over here because I want to write. Do it. Like in that way, he's extremely supportive, and maybe you don't have that. So I know sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you have to do this alone because no one around you is supportive of you. So sometimes you have to stay quiet and keep it to yourself. And that is okay. It is okay to go under a tree or the coffee shop and put your little earphones on with some beautiful singing bowls and just let go of what doesn't serve you in your journal. It's very important for you to purge your feelings, your emotion, what's weighing you down. It's so, so important. And I'm going to show you. I teach you that in how to script your dream life. The book is blocked. I don't know if you've been watching my TikToks. Another trial, my friends. In the middle of me working on this, on day 2 or 3, I think it was day 2, my best-selling book was blocked on Amazon KDP. It's so crazy to me, especially that I've been advertising and stuff. So it's now selling really nicely. Not where I want it to be, but it's doing so much better. Amazon blocked it. The trials are real. You will encounter them. Do not let them push you down. Do not. Always dismantle them, take their power away and say, the only outcome is this. That doesn't matter. That's just a reminder that I'm ready, that I'm eager, that nothing is going to seize my momentum. Namaste. See you on day 5.